What is up, bros? I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And we are a couple of bros on a mission to give you guys the most detailed movie reviews out there with as little bias as possible. Welcome to the All Bros. This week on the podcast, we got a couple of weekly watches that me and Caleb want to go over. And then right after, we're going to jump right into our headliner of the evening, which will be our breakdown of Beetlejuice Beetlejuice.
Hell yeah. And we are going to prove this week whether Beetlejuice is real or not with how frequently we're going to be saying his name today.
Yes. You know, I know Tim Burton said that, it took 35 years to get this movie made, so he doesn't see a third one happening, but it would just be so perfect to have that trilogy, just Beetlejuice, 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 and Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
He's not here. We're good.
Yeah. But dude, like I'm still of that mindset. They should just have the 3 different covers. Or like if they do like the box set, 3 movies only, but have a box set and each one just says Beetlejuice on it. And it's like I don't even know like what that design is, like that thing, the border around it. Like, like the shape that's kind of around.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The crest or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have the crest, and each box creates part of that crest.
Ooh,
so it's just sick. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And they all just say it one time, and it just builds that little crest. That would be the shit, dude.
Yeah, that'd be freaking awesome.
Oh, man.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Let's talk about the sequel before we talk about the third. Even though there probably won't be a third, but we can dream, right?
Yeah.
But Caleb, what do you say we get started?
I say, let's do it.
Need motivation? Angry Dad Podcast. Trying to jumpstart your life? Angry Dad Podcast. You want help getting off the couch? Angry Dad Podcast. You need a verbal kick in the ass? Angry Dad Podcast. You want to hear from somebody who's been through it all? Angry Dad Podcast. I am here for you. You can find me on all podcast platforms.
All right, so jumping right into weekly watches. Caleb and I did watch a couple of movies, and we're excited to talk to you about them. I feel Caleb's are like a little more... I feel he has more to say about them because the one that I watched, like I've watched it so many times. I think I've I think I've talked about it on the podcast. And so like, I don't have a lot to say about it. So yeah. But starting with weekly watches, I forget we're starting with me. I couldn't remember.
You created the freaking PowerPoint.
I forgot that I put me first. I'm sorry. So for me, the only weekly watch I got, since it was added to Netflix, and I will take any chance I get to watch this movie because I love it. And that is Paul Blart Mall Cop. The best Kevin James movie, in my opinion. We don't talk about the sequel. The sequel does not exist. The sequel is a big piece of dog shit. This first one, though, is great. I love this movie. Kevin James is freaking at the top of his game when it comes to comedy. I'm like hyping this movie so much as like one of the greatest comedies, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that hate it.
Probably.
But you know what? I don't
This
care.
movie's the shit, though.
Right? It's so much fun.
This is my ideal Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah. I like that. I love that. I remember I think Caleb was in on this joke. That growing up, me, him, and Sammy, we would always, because I feel like we all watched this movie quite a bit. And so we would always quote it to each other, like either in person or through text, being like, peanut Barton jelly. Whoa, what's up, man? So good to hear your voice.
Dude, I still hit my brother up with that every once in a while.
Yes. I love it. Oh, man. forget. Honestly, I'm shocked that Sammy didn't like destroy her DVD when we were younger for how much she had this on repeat. Not knocking her. I don't blame her. It's such a good movie. Um, but out of the three of us, she definitely watched it the most. Sammy, if you're listening to this, I'm not knocking you. Love you to death. And I can understand why you love this movie. Maybe a little bit more than I do, but just as much.
Dude, she was freaking cycling between this and freaking Rio.
Yes, I'm glad that you remember. Oh, yeah. It's too bad that both of the sequels for those movies weren't that good.
Oh man, dude,
That's so unfortunate.
I know. And I watched. Does Rio have a third?
No, there's only two.
Only the two. Okay, then yeah, I watched the sequel to that, and it was freaking horrible.
Yeah, it sucks that both first movies are really good, and then the sequels just suck.
Yeah.
I think Mall Cop 2 sucks more than Rio 2.
Oh yeah.
But both still aren't good sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Paul Blart was a one-off. It needed to be a one-off.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Hollywood got greedy.
Oh yeah.
Like do they this is something I would genuinely want to ask like a producer or whatever. It's just like, do you guys just see something that's somewhat successful that people like and you're just like, yes, more of that? Or are you just like, do you guys like go and see the movies and like get a feel like, oh, hey, this one feels like it only needed to be one?
You know, it's funny you say that because so when the first Dumb and Dumber came out, the cast and crew were shocked that like a sequel wasn't greenlit like immediately. And then, years passed, and I think it was like a couple years before Dumb and Dumber 2 came out, Jim Carrey calls Jeff Daniels and he's just like, "Hey, I just rewatched Dumb and Dumber for the first time in years. I think I want to revisit those characters with you." And so they call the Farrelly brothers. They all decide that they want to do a Dumb and Dumber 2. When they take it to I think it was Warner Brothers, the idea, the script, everything, Warner Brothers said that it had way too many callbacks to the original. And they said it felt too much like a Dumb and Dumber sequel. Like that's kind of how it came across.
Dude, that is so freaking stupid. Yeah, it's like, no shit, Sherlock.
But so, they shopped it around. They found funding in Universal and Red Granite, which, oh my God, don't get me into freaking Red Granite and like the stolen money with that studio and how the founder of that company is actually still on the run from laundering money from many people. So yeah, the money, I think half of the money that was used to make Dumb and Dumber 2 was stolen money. Yeah, dude.
Shit.
But getting back to Mall Cop. Yeah. And you know what? It wasn't even a good sequel. Like, we didn't even get a good sequel out of it. It sucks.
Yeah. Dude, studios just need to understand that not all stories require more than one movie.
Yeah.
Paul Blart is a one-off.
Yeah.
It should have always been a one-off. There are some... Like I'd even say like there's some movies that I feel like you just like that only need like two. Like I can't think of any off the top of my head, but it's just like there's always a case. Know when your story is done. Paul Blart's story done.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that the second one undoes his happy ending.
Oh my gosh, dude. I was so pissed.
Yeah. Freaking I loved seeing an underdog actually get a happy ending. That was so nice. And then they just freaking ruined it in the sequel.
Yeah, dude, that's the issue you run into all the time with movies that stay their welcome a little too long. In terms of like sequels, like you freaking butcher a perfect ending.
Yeah.
Dude, like Quentin Tarantino, he's like refuses to watch the fourth one the fourth Toy Story, because he's
I
just
remember
like,
reading that.
yeah, his interview was hilarious. He's just like, you want to talk about perfect trilogies? Toy Story has a perfect trilogy, and he says, I know that they made a fourth. I refuse to watch it. Your story has come and it has gone. Like, you do not need to add anything else to it. And I'm like, dude, freaking bingo.
Yeah, he's not
dude,
wrong.
He's someone I would love to talk with.
Oh, dude, same here. I would love to pick Tarantino's mind. That'd be so much fun.
Oh yeah, like I wouldn't have dick all to say about like the nitty gritty details of like, oh, what film you use to shoot this with, or like when they're talking like 17 millimeter, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, what? But no, like talking story structure and all of that, I could get into that for days.
Yeah, that would really be fun to
that'd be so
sit down
cool.
with him.
I love the behind the scenes of his stuff, and he's just like, or when I love what when he's just like, why are we doing this? Because we love making movies. I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
but yeah, Mall Cop, can't say enough good about it. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I give it a streaming recommendation, and you can do so right now on Netflix. You can also stream the sequel, but don't do that. Do not put yourself through that.
Please don't.
That's the last time that I will talk about the sequel.
They don't need to be encouraged.
No, they do not.
Oh man, dude! Next thing you know, we're gonna get like a freaking Paul Blart like drama series.
Oh please, no! Just no. Kevin James is a good actor, but just no, please no.
Man, we want original content, people. Good original content.
Exactly.
All right. Is that the only thing you had, or?
Yep, that's it. What you got, Caleb?
All right. So I recently watched Mad Max Fury Road for the first time ever. And this is one that I was holding on to for a long time. And I was holding on to it because I was just like, I want to watch it like the best possible way. I was planning on watching it in VR. Like, I had a whole freaking thing down, but my headset is outdated now, so everything's like running super freaking slow on it. Like I attempted to watch this on VR, and the freaking Meta wouldn't let me because they were just like, yeah, like this is out of date. And I'm like, yeah, but if I sit really still, like, could you still play it? And they're like, nope. And I'm like, great. So yeah, I attempted to watch it on VR, and I realized that wasn't going to happen. I'm not going to be getting a Quest 3 anytime soon until it becomes a little bit more affordable.
That's very expensive.
Yeah, that's like a whole new freaking console. But anyway, I saw that Furiosa was on Max, and I really wanted to watch Furiosa. So I was like, screw it. I talked to my brother, and I was like, do I need to watch Fury Road to understand Furiosa? And he's like, it's better if you do. And I'm like, damn it. So I watched Fury Road, and I am so bummed. If I knew what this movie was, I would have waited for the 3. This looked so freaking cool. And I'm like, I wish I was at an IMAX theater right now. This would be rocking my world. But right now I have it with freaking subtitles on and the lowest like possible setting that I can still like hear the dialogue, because I'm watching this with a sleeping child, and mistakes were made, dude. But this was a really good movie. The story itself is basic. It's very basic. And I think that works in its favor because of all of the crazy action and shit that's going on. Like this is a movie that would take a hit in story and probably character development, but everything else I feel would freaking be killer. But yeah, I had a great time with this movie. It keeps you in the heart of the action, gives you a little bit of time to breathe, and then gets right back into the action. And I'm like, I am here for it. So I big fan, and I'm so pumped to finish Furiosa. So yeah, with that, because I wish that I would have seen this in on the big screen, I'm giving this a $5 Tuesday because I would absolutely go pay to see this on the big screen. It's just shy of full price though. It's just shy.
I will say that because I remember, I think this movie came out like shortly after Age of Ultron did in theaters, and this was one of the best 3D experiences I've ever seen.
You saw it in 3D?
Oh, I did.
God damn it!
It was gorgeous.
Ah, man, I'm so freaking jealous.
I felt I would have invited you, but you were in shit. Where were you living when you were down here? Like
I was living in a couple places. What year did this come out?
2015.
2015.
Weren't you living in Ogden?
I was probably living in Ogden.
Yeah.
This was pre All Bros. So
yeah. Man, dude, I honestly could have we should have planned a weekend or something for a meetup and saw this together. Damn it. I'm sorry, man.
No, dude. Like this is exactly why the podcast was born, to freaking keep shit like that from happening.
It's true. Freaking I remember when this came out on physical, and the because this was like back when they took pre-orders seriously at Best Buy. I mean, they don't do physical media anymore, but back then pre-orders weren't as I guess locked in as they are now or used to be like a year or so ago, because I remember overhearing someone while I was at Best Buy the day that this came out, because I wasn't picking this up, I was picking up something else, and they said, yeah, the Fury Road Steelbook sold out so fast and people want it so bad that if people hadn't picked up their pre-orders of the Steelbook before noon or 2, they were actually canceling their orders, taking their pre-order sticker off of it, and selling it to someone that was already there.
Dude.
Yeah.
Talk about some shady shit.
Right? Yeah, I was
I'd be so pissed.
Oh, I'd be too. Yeah. I mean, it was a beautiful Steelbook, but I'm just that's effed up.
That is super effed up. Holy crap. But yeah, so I ended up watching this, like I said, just to watch Furiosa, and I had my family had such bad timing because they were all out doing doctor's stuff and whatnot, and I was out sick, so I was just so I had the baby, but I made it through the whole movie, and then got to the last half hour, and then they come home, and I'm like, God damn it! And there was a scene that was very violent, and I was and freaking Iris again hiding behind her tablet and just wide-eyed. I'm like, God damn it. So I was I shoot her into the back room with my wife, and I was like, shit, she's gonna grow up with issues. But she handled it like a champ. She was just like, what happened to that guy? And I'm like, he's sleeping. After he got his jaw ripped off.
Look, I'm just saying, I'm glad I'm not the one that's going to be blamed for her having her being messed up with, her uncle showing her horror movies. I'm just glad that it's not going to be me.
Oh man, dude, and
Trust me, if I was there, I'd like.
Immediately after this, just getting into the next movie I watched, Beetlejuice, because I was doing a freaking double feature, because I wanted to watch this, and then I immediately watched Beetlejuice. So the scene where Gina Davis is in the closet and they're trying to like haunt these people, and she looks like she's hanging in the closet, and then she rips off her face and it's just like the skeleton and then it goes, ah. Freaking Iris came out to show, because I hadn't seen this movie. I hadn't, like I said, I have not seen this movie, so I didn't think it was going to be that. I was just like, oh, Tim Burton, like his shit's fun. And so I turned it on, no problems. I don't think Brielle's seen Beetlejuice. She might have, but she didn't. I don't think she was aware. But Iris comes out to show me this thing on her tablet, and I was like, oh, that's cool, baby. And then she turns around, she's like, what are you watching? And then that scene comes off and she rips the face off. And then Iris, she like stood up, she looked, and she's like, what was that? What was that? And I was like, that was pretend. And she's like, okay. So I immediately paused it and I was like, get out.
She's like, sure as hell didn't look like pretend.
Yeah, I know. And then unfortunately, because I watched this yesterday, the day that we're recording, I woke up with her in our bed because she had a bad dream, and I'm like, shit. So I need to be very careful about what I watch around. I need to be better about checking out the parents' guide. So yeah, this movie, by the way, had a great time with it. Very fun. Rose was giving it too much shit last week. It wasn't like the opening credits were slow because freaking every movie back then had like million hour freaking intros, but after that, like I was in for it. Like I freaking loved what they did.
I told him as he was telling me what he thought. I actually watched this again before I went and saw Beetlejuice, and yeah, I was too harsh on it. It really is good. I take it back. I take back what I said. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, but super good, like really freaking good, really fun. Yeah, a little bit scarier than I thought it was going to be. But you live and learn.
Oh yeah, dude, when they freaking like pull down their like faces to create those like freaking like long ass faces, whatever they're called. Yeah, I always remember seeing those in like Spirit Halloween and shit like that, and I'm just like, what the hell is that supposed to be? Like, I'm so confused. And like now that I finally have that clarification, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense now. It's honestly so nice now going into like a Spirit Halloween and you see all this Beetlejuice shit, and you're just like, I understand that reference now.
Yeah, it's only been 35 years.
Yeah. Oh shit.
But yeah, I am going to be giving this one a stream it. I do feel like this one's a little bit more fun to watch at home.
You can traumatize your kids and all.
Yeah, you can traumatize your kids and everything.
Oh.
But yeah, that's all I watched this week.
All right, hell yeah. All right, well, what do you say we jump into our headliner then?
Say, let's do it.
right, so before we get into our headliner, which will be our breakdown of Beetlejuice, Caleb, do you want to let people know how we break down movies on this podcast?
Yeah, I realized I had it muted.
Okay.
My
It's
bad.
like, no, you're good. I'm just like, shit, is there something wrong on my side?
Nope, that was me. If you are new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final All Bros letter grade. The 8 categories that we score are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then we give it our own personal score at the very end. Is this enough of a horror movie to warrant bringing in logic? This was something I was meaning to bring up to you before.
That is a really good question.
Like, would it make more sense to do?
I don't know, because I feel Lydia, I'm assuming, we do the character development on Lydia.
Yeah.
I feel though she has a good amount of character development that like you could grade it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll stick with that.
Okay.
Dude, these past like 2 movies have been goofy in turn, like, because I was like, or what did we do last week? We did
Oh shit, what did we do? Oh, The Crow.
yeah, The Crow. The Crow was one where I was like, okay, because for like horror movies or anything off that like that, I try to like incorporate like the fun background. So I was like, but this wasn't really like a horror movie. And last week wasn't really a horror movie. It was just a really dark themed movie.
Yeah.
But it was, like I said, I try to reserve the black and white background for for other shit.
No, that's fair.
But anyway. But yeah, all right. So we'll stick with character development on this one. And yeah. So if you have not seen Beetlejuice, this is one that can be spoiled.
Yes.
So please do yourself a favor. Go check this movie out first. If you don't plan on seeing it, you're probably okay to like listen ahead, but we will be spoiling the entire freaking movie in our favorite segment that we like to call Reading with Rose.
All right. In 2024, Lydia Dietz is the host of a supernatural oh my god. Talk show. Screw you. All right. In 2024, Lydia Dietz is the host of a supernatural talk show. Oh my god, there's no host in there. Jesus. Oh my god, jeez. Okay. Okay. This is gonna be a long episode. All right. Again from the top. In 2024, Lydia Dietz is the host of a supernatural talk show called Ghost House, produced by her boyfriend, Rory. During the taping of a segment, Lydia sees visions of the ghost Beetlejuice, who haunted her family 36 years earlier in the audience. Shortly thereafter, Delia, Lydia's stepmother, shares the news about the death of her father, Charles. En route to Winter River for the funeral services, the surviving Dietz family pick up Lydia's estranged daughter, Astrid, from the boarding. Wow. From boarding school, not the boarding school, just boarding school. Geez. Following the funeral services, Rory proposes to Lydia in front of the attendees. Dude, So I went and saw this with my buddy Ryan. I leaned over and I'm just like, that has got to be one of the dickest things I've ever seen someone do in a movie. Propose to someone on their loved one's funeral day.
Yeah.
That is, you are a piece of shit if you do that.
Yeah, dude, that is just that is seriously a step, I'd say, above proposing at someone's wedding.
Yeah. Never do either.
Yeah. If you do that,
Please.
you will be getting freaking tackled.
Yep. 100%. So Roy proposes to Lydia in front of the attendees, which she reluctantly accepts, causing Astrid to flee and meet Jeremy Fraser, who invites her over prior to the wedding. Sometime later, Astrid discovers a box of items belonging to her father, Richard, who disappeared 2 years earlier in South America, and an ad to contact Beetlejuice. On Halloween, Astrid learns that Jeremy is actually a ghost seeking her help to restore his life. The two enter the afterlife the two enter the afterlife after Astrid recites an incantation from the handbook of the recently deceased. Discovering Jeremy's past as a murderer, Lydia reluctantly calls upon Beetlejuice to help retrieve Astrid. Beetlejuice agrees but demands that Lydia marry him, allowing him to stay in the mortal world and evade his vengeful ex-wife and murderer Dolores in the afterlife. Meanwhile, Delia conducts a ceremony at Charles's grave using 2 live snakes that bite and kill her.
Dude, that shit was freaking hilarious.
Oh yeah, her reaction was great. Like, because for a minute I'm just like, wait, so the snakes were actually put. Oh shit, okay. It's just the way that she died. I'm just like, that felt like so theatrical. It makes sense for the character. So like it like took me a minute. I'm just like, oh shit, yeah, those were actually venomous. Okay, she actually did die.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Lydia consents to the marriage, and Beetlejuice and Lydia are transported into the afterlife train station in an attempt to stop Astrid from boarding the soul train, which transports souls into the beyond. By reciting the incantation, Astrid was tricked into switching places with Jeremy in order for him to regain his life. Astrid notices that one of the station's employees is her father, Richard, who rescues her and Lydia while Beetlejuice sends Jeremy to hell. Hunted by ghost detective Wolf Jackson for bringing Lydia into the afterlife, Beetlejuice agrees to help Delia find Charles if she helps him find Lydia, who along with Astrid was ushered away and returned to Winter River by Richard. At a church in the mortal world, Lydia and Astrid arrive as Rory waits at the altar. Beetlejuice, with Delia's assistance, hijacks the wedding, injecting Rory with truth serum to reveal his intention to marry Lydia for her money. An enraged Lydia punches Rory, knocking him out. As Beetlejuice prepares to marry Lydia, Dolores arrives to confront him, along with Wolf and his team. Using the handbook as a guide, Astrid unleashes a sandworm into the church that eats Dolores and Rory, while Beetlejuice subdues Wolf by freezing him and his men in place. Astrid reveals that Beetlejuice violated the rules of the handbook by bringing Lydia into the afterlife, thwarting the wedding, and allowing Lydia to return him to the afterlife. Afterward, Lydia and Astrid reassure Delia of their love for her as she is escorted to the afterlife by Wolf. She soon reunites with Charles before boarding the soul train for heaven. Sometime later, Lydia films the final segment of her last episode of Ghost House, opting to spend time with Astrid. Despite this, Lydia continues to have nightmares about Beetlejuice, including one in which Astrid gives birth to Beetlejuice's child. After a false awakening with a lucid nightmare wherein Beetlejuice lies beside her, Lydia looks at the side of the bed, traumatized and alone.
Dude, straight up, that ending was nuts.
Yeah, that you know, as much as I enjoyed the ending, I honestly, I don't know. Like the way that I was looking at it is I wanted just Astrid and oh my god. Lydia, thank you. To just like rekindle their relationship, and they do. It seems it really does look like they do, but honestly, I would have been fine if it just ended with them just being together. Like personally, I didn't need to see Astrid get married and all that stuff. Like,
I'm pretty sure that was all fake.
oh, her getting married.
I imagine that was all fake.
Okay, I thought like it only started getting fake until once we got to her birthing Beetlejuice's baby, which oh god, that was something.
Dude,
Uh,
freaking Yeah, I imagine that was all fake.
Okay.
Like,
'Cause-
all of it. Like, I think that was just to, like, throw us off the scent a little bit.
yeah.
But when they're just like, "Oh, rekindling and doing this and doing that," and I was like, "Oh, okay, like, this is sweet." And
Yeah.
then it got into, like, the wedding, I'm like, "Okay." Like, weird red flag, and then it started getting weirder and weirder, and I was like, "What the hell is happening right now?" And then yeah, and then obviously freaking Beetlejuice baby, which is freaking nightmare fuel.
I will say it would have been like a cool cliffhanger if they didn't show the second sequence where she wakes up and there's no one in bed next to her. Like, imagine if it just ended with Beetlejuice waking up beside her and just saying, "Oh, I had the strangest dream."
Oh my
Like,
gosh, dude, that would have been the craziest cliffhanger ever.
yeah, that would have been insane. Damn it, I
Yeah,
wish Tim Burton would have done it now.
yeah. But
Uh,
oh man, I would have, yeah, I would have lost it. That would have been so cool.
I will say, I think the baby, like, don't get me wrong, it was funny and it was gory in that one scene, but I thought the whole baby gag was funnier. When Beetlejuice is a therapist and he's just like, "Oh, you need to bring out your inner child. Mine's on his way right now," and you see Lydia get pregnant and then birth his baby
Oh,
right there.
so
just
gross.
I just I just love how he picks him up. He's just like, "Everyone says that he has my eyes. I don't think so. What do you think?" And then he just freaking kicks the kid.
Oh my gosh, dude. It Beetlejuice. I love Beetlejuice, dude.
Oh,
He
same
is
here.
so like funny.
For the little screen time that Michael Keaton gets in both movies, it's the exact same screen time, which I think is awesome. I love that. 17 minutes. He soaks up every single second. And like it's a credit to how amazing of an actor he is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dude, he slid back into this role just effortlessly. Like
Yeah.
the
So
second,
good.
like even before he had even said any lines, where you just kind of see him in the audience, like I was like, oh yeah, like he captured the vibe.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so good.
So good.
Um, getting into the story, dude. My only problem was the ex-wife. I don't
Oh,
feel like she was.
Dolores.
Yeah, I don't feel like she was totally necessary.
You know what? I've seen a lot of people say that is a very common complaint. Yeah, I can agree with it. I enjoyed her for the most part. Um, her freaking the opening with her when she's stapling herself back
Oh
together,
my
that was
gosh,
awesome.
that was so cool.
That was badass. And freaking tragedy playing by was it the Bee Gees?
Yeah.
Yeah, that perfect. Um, So, like, yeah, I get what you're saying. I can definitely agree with for that for the most part. And it's like especially like what did you feel? How did you feel about like the flashback of Beetlejuice explaining what had happened between those two?
Dude, honestly, if it wasn't in a different language, I probably wouldn't have liked it as much.
You know what?
But
Same.
the fact that he narrated it all in freaking Spanish was perfection.
Yeah.
Like it made the scenes, it made something that was like kind of bland and just like, whatever. It made it so much better than what it could have been.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought something freaking happened to like the audio, because it like the whole like the audio changed. Like he was talking normal, and then it's like it shifted to like the like that weird like the grainy,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh shit, did something break? And and I was like, oh man, like, and then like when I saw that was part of the bit, I was like, I was there for it. It was so well done.
I
A
just
lot of
love
those
that.
bits were.
Yeah. No. Seriously. I just love that at the end he points out that, you know, like, oh, I'm into some crazy shit, but she took the cake with her being in that cult and everything. Oh, that was great.
Oh man. And I love that we got to see him before he was dead. I thought that was a really cool little
That
bit.
was cool. For a second, I didn't think I thought that was actually someone else. I didn't think it was Michael Keaton for a second.
Yeah, it took a second till she freaking threw him on the bed. I was like, okay, that's Keaton.
uh but like, you know, comparing the story for in this to, you know, like it continuing what what happened in the first one, I feel this is such a really good continuation. The characters make complete sense for where they ended up, like Lydia, especially her having her own TV show where she talks to the dead. Her I just loved seeing how much she, like, you know, struggled with this power that she has and how it's affected her relationship with Astrid. um Freaking you know, she takes it the worst, which makes sense, but seeing how Delia takes Charles's death was, I'm not going to say it was funny, but it was very enjoyable in not a bad way, to watch how that unfolded throughout the movie.
Dude, that was pure Catherine O'Hara magic. She is the best.
Dude, freaking favorite is when, like, all of a sudden shit, what's Rory, like, he's like carrying boxes and he hears screaming coming from the house, and she's just like shouting, no, 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 and they're just like, what the hell is going on? Oh, I'm capturing the moment that you feel what grief is, what this person's death has done to you, and I recommend that you all do it for yourselves as well. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Dude, I love when she freaking like was talking to Lydia, and she's just like, the most horrible thing has happened with me or with your father, and she's like, he left you? Why would you say something so awful? No, he died.
So good. What a horrible thought.
Dude,
dude, she had the best writing, because freaking, like, literally the next scene is her with not Astrid, oh my god, Lydia going to see Astrid, and she's just like, Astrid, I mean, this is more so writing, but just the line of how she's just like, Astrid, usually I'm totally fine with you ignoring your mother and giving her shit, but not today. You lost your grandpa, she lost her dad, and I lost my horny handyman.
Dude, she is so unhinged in the best way possible.
It's so good.
Like, I loved her in the first one too, where she, like, when she's just like, if you don't let me use this place to express myself, I'm going to go nuts, and I'm dragging you with me. I loved it. I loved every second of her, dude. I could watch like 5 hours of Catherine O'Hara just being off the wall, unhinged.
No, like seriously, like the last one I want to point out is when her and Lydia are sitting on the front porch of the house, and she's just like, Lydia's just like, you know, Astrid has always blamed me for her dad's death, and Delia's just like, well, you always blamed me for your mom's, and she's like, my mom's not dead, I just resented you.
I love that interaction between the two of them, dude.
Yeah,
it was so much fun. Oh,
but
man,
I
dude,
do love
what? Dude, Tim Burton, does Tim Burton did he have a pre-existing relationship with Willem Dafoe? What was that cameo?
Dude,
came out of freaking nowhere.
I don't know if he did, but like, I'm glad that he was in this, because like, oh my god, like freaking when he's talking about, oh, it's it's so hard being a police chief, and the one lady walks in and she's just like, you're not a police chief, you're an actor, and he's just like, thanks for keeping me in check, you always do. Some shit like that.
Oh
No,
my gosh.
god, I
So
loved him in
good.
it. Just
I
yeah, like
love the little callbacks or the little cameos that we got. Like freaking oh shit, what's his name? I'm totally blanking. What's his name? Once I hear it, I'm gonna be so pissed at myself. The freaking penguin.
oh, Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. God damn it. Dude, I yeah. Yeah, seeing him was a treat. Like, I know he wasn't in it that long, but just
Yeah.
the fact that he was in it at all was fantastic.
Oh yeah, that was great. But yeah, just this story was just so good for a sequel that came after 35 years. This I feel that so many studios give the green light for legacy sequels, even if they know they are not going to be good.
Yeah.
That they are just going to be a cash grab. But this one was definitely a labor of love. Tim Burton definitely wanted to make sure that those that loved the original as much as they didn't feel let down when it came to the official sequel. And I really appreciate him for that. Because this is I will say, I think I've changed my way of how I feel about the story in the first one. I like it more than when I first saw it after seeing it a second time, but I still think I liked the story a little more in this one. Like this is the rare sequel story that I like it more.
I do too, and I think it's because it included more Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or I guess it felt like it included more. I
Yeah,
guess the
it
same story
did.
time and everything, but everything was more centered around Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Because like for the first 20 minutes in the first one, you don't even get the name Beetlejuice isn't even mentioned. Whereas not even 5 minutes in, Lydia's having like these I'm not going to say hallucinations because he was actually there,
Yeah.
but she's seeing the man that tormented her family and tried to force her to marry him freaking 35 years ago. So
Yeah.
I appreciate how fast they jump into, oh, hey, remember these characters, remember where they came from, and this is where we're going off of. And it was just great.
Yeah. I am very glad that I watched the first like really close to seeing this one.
I am as well.
Yeah, but the story was solid, dude. It was super
It really
solid.
was.
It kept subverting my expectations. Like, so this is what I originally thought, because when what's her face? What's Jenna Ortega's character?
Astrid.
Astrid. When Astrid crashes into the tree, I would have sworn up and down that she was dead.
Damn. I didn't think she hit that hard.
I didn't think so either, but I felt like it's kind of like what they did with the first, where they just kind of like, because I was thinking like, okay, how the hell is she going to get into the underworld? And so I was like, okay, so something's going. My initial thought going into this, because I saw the trailers and whatnot and knew that Astrid and Lydia were going to be in the underworld. I was like, okay, so something happens and they die. So that's kind of what I was expecting. And so when she crashed, I was like, oh shit, she's dead. And of course, freaking Lydia can see her. Like, I was waiting for someone to not interact with her. I was like, okay, just like keeping a real close eye out. But I was, I was waiting for someone to not interact with her. And I was obviously that didn't happen. But I would have sworn up and down that she was dead. But the fact that she wasn't, I knew for a fact that kid was. Like, I saw that one coming. I didn't quite see the like, that's why I thought that she was dead. I'm like, oh, now she sees ghosts. Like, now she's dead.
Dude, I hate that I'm bad at calling this shit out. Like, I usually I usually just like let the movie play in front of me. I don't think about this kind of stuff. And so like I feel stupid for like when something actually like, like that happens and it's revealed that, he was a ghost this whole time and I'm just like, how the hell did I not freaking click those two together?
Yeah. I try to plan it, or I don't know. Like, I kind of have a good grasp of that, like, because I don't do it like in the movies, or it's hard to explain because it's like I don't let my expectations or what I think is going to happen affect my enjoyment of the movie.
That's good.
But I do like trying to like figure out some twists.
All right.
And so that's like one of the big twists. I was like, okay, there's got to be like something here that's like crazy. And so that's why I was like, okay, they're definitely hiding the fact that because I thought for the longest time that they were hiding that Astrid was dead.
Mm.
Because they're not showing the faces of his mom and dad. So I'm like, okay, like they're dead. And it's like very obvious that they're dead. So like I said, I was expecting something different, and then it's like, okay, well, it makes sense why Lydia would be able to see her, but maybe they're just trying to figure all that shit out and blah 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 blah.
Speaking of his parents being dead, and I just can't like tell for some reason what was in his father's head, because I know that the egg beater was stabbed into his mom's face, but could you tell what was in his dad's face? What he'd stabbed into it?
I had no freaking clue, dude. It looked like maybe a pizza cutter.
Yeah, it kind of did look like that.
But it had something over it.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't place it.
I feel it would. I mean, it would have taken some good, effort, but I feel like it would have been made a lot of sense if he would have like stabbed like the TV remote into him or something like that.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I couldn't place that for shit. It looked like a pizza cutter. I was also thinking that maybe it was like a tiny saw, but that wouldn't make sense.
Oh, I just thought of something messed up. I don't think you wait. Was he? It was just a regular TV, right? It wasn't an antenna TV, or was it?
It was a box TV.
If it was an antenna TV, imagine if he had stabbed his dad's eyes out with the antennas.
Ooh, that'd be pretty wild. Yeah, I'm excited to rewatch this, just to like check that part out again, just to see what he got bushwhacked with.
Yeah, let me know because I've seen this twice, and I still can't figure out. You might be able to pick it out better than I was able to, but yeah, I really want to know what he was stabbed with. It's annoying me.
Yeah, but overall, like, really good story flow.
Yeah, 100%.
No real slow parts. Even the bits with like the Beetlejuice's ex-wife, I don't feel like those were completely necessary to the story, but they didn't slow it down either. It was more like, oh yeah, she's in this.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, like the whole like lawn, the whole dry cleaner scene. Like, like I agree with you. She wasn't necessary in the story, but that was a very cool scene, and especially the freaking lighting. Like, holy shit, love the lighting in that
Yeah,
that scene.
yeah, but this was really good. Story wise, I'm probably at like a solid 90. Like, I felt it was that freaking good.
Dude, I'm gonna match you on that shit. Yeah, love it. Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on over to writing. This was pretty on par.
Yeah, no, like seriously. Like thinking of like specific writing for characters, I feel a lot of people think that the whole like, oh, the daughter resents the mother for what happened, shit like that. People just like, oh, it's been done to death. I feel that this time around it was different enough that like I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, it might be for the fact that one, I love Winona Ryder and Jenna Ortega. Their chemistry is fantastic together. And I love the characters of Lydia and Astrid. So their mother-daughter dynamic I felt was great throughout the movie. And I actually enjoyed watching that kind of what many would call basic storyline unfold. And I loved when they actually finally, you know, when her dad is talking to them in the afterlife and saying, you know, like, don't let me be the reason why you guys aren't talking, why you guys are separated. You guys are better together. And so, you know, after that, once they, you know, rekindle their relationship, I just loved I loved that. I know it's like been done to death. This is, you know, classic thing in movies, but this time around it felt original to me. It felt different. It felt new. And I really, really appreciated that. So kudos to Tim Burton for that.
Yeah, dude. I think what felt different about it is that it wasn't some petty bullshit. Like their disconnect felt a bit more reasonable.
Yeah.
Then it's just
Sure.
like it wasn't some like, oh, mommy sent me away to school or to some boarding school or whatever. Like it wasn't something stupid like that. It was, oh, she's a fraud because she's never been able to summon or speak to my dad
Yeah.
who died tragically. And like that felt real. It's just like, yeah, like if like I'd probably think my mom was full of shit too if she like claimed all this shit, but like there was no real like evidence or proof.
Yeah.
So like it made sense. Like it made sense why their disconnect happened. Like that I was fully expecting some like petty bullshit. But
Mm.
what we got instead was perfect.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'm trying to think like, and the Beetlejuice was written incredibly well.
Yeah. We gotta point out, rest in peace, Bob. He did not deserve that. He will be missed.
Man, I'm so pissed about Bob.
That was very sad. I just love that after you know, once Beetlejuice and Lydia enter the afterlife, and Beetlejuice is just like, Bob, you and the boys stand guard. Nobody gets through. And Bob's just like, all right, everybody, just get back to work. And they all look at each other and just freaking like burst past him and go to the freaking real world. Felt so bad for Bob.
Dude, Bob got screwed this
He
movie.
did.
He was so funny though. Oh man. I found him so fun. Like when what's her face came and like broke into the office, and then she's like hunting down Beetlejuice, and then you just see Bob like cowering under the table. I'm like, dude, for real though.
Dude, speaking of that scene, I love that freaking she picks up the employee of the month image of Beetlejuice, which I love. But like after, you know, she admires it, she sees the picture of Lydia and picks it up and just freaking throws it on the floor. Oh, that was great.
Yeah, dude, I do genuinely think that they could have gotten rid of the ex-wife had they like had they given the reason Beetlejuice wanted to get married to Lydia so bad. Like cuz this, I mean, it made sense
Yeah.
It was just slightly a little overcomplicated. Just like, okay, so he has to get married to Lydia, so Dolores doesn't freaking hunt him down and like steal his soul and
But
then
like,
become immortal
yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that.
But like,
Versus if Beetlejuice wanted to get married to Lydia because she's alive and then he can go to the land of the living, then it's like, okay, that tracks.
yeah. I don't know. Just I feel you could have come up with a different storyline that didn't involve another character that would have still worked with the whole marriage thing. Because like it's clear that Beetlejuice will take any chance that he gets to marry Lydia. That's without question. He points out to Bob, long distance relationships are hard. Especially when one of you is dead and the other one's been ignoring you for over 30 years.
Yeah. So I think I don't know. I think that could have been rewritten, and I think it would have been better off for it. Even though I do think Dolores looked really freaking cool.
She did.
Yeah, I love that scene where she was assembling herself. I'm like, dude, this feels like an original character. Like, I would love to see her story, but I don't think her story fit for Beetlejuice.
When that scene started playing out, I was thinking of like Bride of Chucky and how much I would have loved that instead of seeing Tiffany put him together. And I know this wouldn't have worked. But like, like with the whole voodoo thing, maybe it could have, I don't know, but like freaking seeing Chucky have to like staple himself together, that would actually been like really cool to watch.
That would have been super hard to pull off, but yeah.
True. But like, it kind of would have been worth.
Yeah. Like I said, I think writing is pretty on par. I might put it a little. No. I'll put it right where I have it at with story, sitting at a 90. Like, I think it is really well written. It's funny. It's just it needs a little bit of help with the structure. Just a bit. Just write out Dolores and you're golden. Like, then you can have you could still have like Beetlejuice pulling off shenanigans where Willem Dafoe's character needs to like hunt him down. Like, you could have had all of that shit still in there. Just write out Dolores, because I don't feel like she was super necessary, especially with how quick she freaking ended up getting bushwhacked.
Yeah. And, I think because of that, I think I'm actually going to go a point lower than you had an 89. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
Dipping into the 80s.
Yeah. All right, moving on to acting, which may be the freaking highlight of this movie.
Fair.
Yeah, starting off with the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Keaton, who plays Beetlejuice. Then we got Winona Ryder, who plays Lydia Dietz. Then we got Catherine O'Hara, who plays Delia Dietz. And then Jenna Ortega, who plays Lydia Dietz. Wait, I thought she was Astrid.
Oh, shit. What? All
Yeah,
right, that was a huge screw up. My bad.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega plays Astrid Dietz.
Nice catch.
And then we got Justin Theroux, who plays Rory. Willem Dafoe, who plays Wolf Jackson. Monica Bellucci, who plays Dolores. Arthur Conti, who plays Jeremy. Why does he seem so familiar?
I don't know, but this is only his second acting gig.
Really?
Yeah.
What else was he in? House of the Dragon.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. My wife's been watching that, so... Oh, he was only in one episode? Okay, never mind. I'm freaking dumb. Okay, I guess I don't know what I know him from. Then we got Santiago Cabrera, who plays Richard. And I don't think we got a last name for him.
No.
Yeah, whatever Astrid's last name is, I guess.
Yeah.
Does she go by Dietz?
I I think so, considering that when they're picking up from boarding school, she says everyone already knows that my mom is Lydia Dietz.
Okay, yeah, she's even credited everywhere as Astrid Dietz.
Okay.
Okay. All right. What's your top 3 look like? I assume ours is going to look very similar.
Yeah, I would say so.
This is
No,
tough too because there's 4 freaking big hitters.
oh yeah. Number 1, Michael Keaton, Beetlejuice.
Absolutely.
He was phenomenal. 35 years later, and this man didn't miss one beat returning to this character. It's like he never left.
Oh yeah.
It just wow.
Dude, I
Number
love
2.
when
Sorry.
he active. I'm sorry. I
No, you're
love
good.
how he activates his Michael voice in this. Like when he starts getting real serious and starts like talking calm, sounds like himself, and then just slowly gets a little bit more and more, and then more and more and more unhinged, and then goes back to Beetlejuice. I'm like, yeah, this is some freaking masterclass acting right here.
Oh, it's so good. Number 2, I would actually give to Winona Ryder.
Okay.
I loved her as Lydia. I mean, I loved her in the first one as Lydia, but this one just I loved her more. I loved seeing one, where she has come, or how far she's come as a character, seeing her struggles with Astrid, how she's dealing with Charles's death, everything with Rory, everything with oh my god, Delia. Just yeah, I loved her this time around even more. So yeah, number 2, I would give to Winona Ryder. She was
Dude,
fantastic.
it's getting a character that was originally like super kind of annoying and angsty to like mature is something else.
Yeah,
Like she felt like a lot more relatable than her just like doom and gloom self and in the first, but she was like what 15?
yes, yeah,
Yeah, so it's like it makes sense.
yeah. Uh, number 3. Number 3 is so freaking hard because like I can't decide between who gets 3 and who gets 4 out of these two. I think just because she's just so much fun to watch on screen. I think number 3 I'm gonna give to Catherine O'Hara. She's just so much fun to watch. Like Jenna Ortega, she is like, honestly, you know what, I would say it's a coin flip between these two for number 3. I love them probably both about the same, but like if I really had to choose, like maybe just Catherine O'Hara just a little bit more for how like batshit crazy she has to get into this, she has to be with this character, like how out there Delia is, and I love it so much. She's fantastic in this role, and I feel that she freaking like took it to the next level in this one compared to the first one. She was fantastic in Beetlejuice, but I feel like she was even more zany in this one, which I absolutely loved.
Dude, have you watched her in Schitt's Creek?
I've not.
You need to.
Yeah, okay.
There is a level of like she keeps and maintains this level of unhinged that entire series.
Really? Okay.
And
I'm
it is
in.
so funny.
Okay.
She makes that move or that show.
Okay.
Like everyone does. Like everyone does so well in that show, but I love her character of Moira so much. And honestly, if I were you and dating, I would have something like that in my, like just something mentioning like you could be a Rose, like Schitt's Creek.
Oh my god.
Like as a selling point because like they're so cool.
Okay.
Her character I love her character because she's like a super eccentric actress. and like she never pronounces anything right. And it like
Great.
it's an issue, but it's so funny.
Okay.
But yeah, my number one, Michael Keaton, duh. My number two, I'm actually giving to Catherine O'Hara.
Okay.
I found so much enjoyment when she was on screen, and dude, when she like I was already like loving her. When she died, I loved her more.
I love when she's when talking to uh why do I keep forgetting her name? Uh oh my god.
Lydia or
Lydia. Why do I keep forgetting Lydia's name? When Lydia's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss you, Delia." She's like, "No, no, you're not. Don't freaking lie to me." It's like, tell you what, I'm gonna get with Charles, and we're both gonna haunt your asses.
Dude, I love that her selling point for going was when Astrid said, like, your work's going to go up crazy in value. And she's like, oh, like, okay.
I mean, she's not wrong. I mean, if you guys listen to the Gacy Gazette, a couple up, the last episode we released, I mentioned how much a original Pogo, the clown painting, goes to Caleb. 30 grand. That's how much you're going to be paying. So, yeah, Delia is going to be making out like a bandit, I'm sure, when it comes to her artwork.
Yeah. Too bad she doesn't have any need for that, though.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
But
Astrid and oh my god,
Lydia
are going to be making out like bandits with the residuals from her paintings. Why do I keep forgetting Lydia's goddamn name? What the hell's wrong with me?
Dude, I feel you. I freaking feel you. My number three, again, this is a coin flip. 2, 3, and 4 could honestly be swapped any given day. Like, Michael Keaton is a non-negotiable number 1. 2, 3, and 4 are very negotiable. But yeah, I'm giving my number 3 to Jenna Ortega. I loved her character and just how goofy she was. Like her freaking first line out the door when those freaking bitchy girls try to scare her, and she's just like, yeah, when you're 3 kids, second divorce, like, we'll see who's laughing. I'm like, damn, you went straight for the throat.
That was so good.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, like, I loved her. I freaking love Jenna Ortega, dude.
Her interactions, especially with, what was his name, Rory, right?
Yeah.
Were amazing. Like when he approaches her at the funeral, and he's like, if you ever just want to, talk about your grief or trauma and, like help get over it, like I'm here for you. And she just like belches. She's like, all right, I'm over it.
Dude, her sass is next level.
It's so good. Freaking, I love when, I don't know if you've seen the interview, but they ask, so it's Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, and Jenna Ortega, and they ask them, like, oh, so why did it take so long for Beetlejuice sequel to be made? And Winona Ryder, without hesitation, says, oh, we were waiting for Jenna Ortega to be born.
Perfect answer.
Yeah. No, like, seriously. I'm
Uh,
really glad that Tim Burton started working with her for Wednesday, and
oh, dude. She
they
could not
continued with
have
this
been
movie.
cast more perfectly than she was for Wednesday Addams.
Agreed. I cannot wait for season 2. I'm so excited.
I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. Oh man. But yeah, my number 4 is going to Winona Ryder. And this is nothing against her. This could be flip-flopped any given day. I loved her character way more than I liked her in the first. She was so annoying in the first. And like, I can't stand like those overly dramatic goth kids.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you, man, I was one, so
That is a load of shit.
yeah, it is.
Dude, even Brielle claims that she had a goth phase, and I'm like, no, you didn't. Not to the level that I feel like you could have.
Dude, I think I only owned like one black shirt growing up.
I know. Dude, all my freaking dark colored shirts were my dad's work shirts.
Yeah.
And I own more of my dad's work shirts than I did any other article of clothing.
Yeah, it was always funny seeing him show up to school with his dad's logo just plastered over his shirt.
Yeah. Like I had that, and I had plain t-shirts, and that was it.
I mean, you had a lot of superhero shirts, didn't you?
That is true. Like once I started getting my own money, yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, it was plain t-shirts, flannels, and work shirts for my dad's company. Like there was nothing else in my wardrobe.
Yeah, Caleb was known for the flannels. I remember that.
Yep. I didn't even I didn't have like typical like I didn't have like standard wardrobe stuff, or like I'm wording this weird. Or I didn't have phases. I never had a goth phase. I never had like I never had like these phases. The closest thing to a phase that I had was, I remember I forget who. It was either my grandma or my aunt. My money's on my aunt, but she bought like a freaking puka shell necklace that I tried wearing, but it kept yanking the hair out on the back of my neck, and I was like, man, forget that shit.
See, I feel bad. Like, I didn't have a phase either, but like I feel bad that like whenever someone would like offer something me like that, like, a necklace or anything to put around my neck. I wish I could respectfully say no, I'll take it, but I wish I could, because I hate anything around my neck. I hate anything rubbing around my neck besides a t-shirt.
Oh, it'll drive you up a wall, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It will drive you up a wall.
Like, I'm so grateful that I I wear an apron at work, but I get to wear like, the button up collared shirt. So that goes under and that can, tuck right under. So I'm not feeling it on my neck. Whereas, other people are just wearing plain t-shirts and the apron has to touch their neck. And I'm just like, oh my God, hell no. Nope, can't do it.
Yeah. No, thanks. Hell, I can barely stand. I have to wear like those foam earplugs, and they have like the ones with the freaking connecting string and shit. And so when I take them off, I can pull them out, and then they hang around my neck for a little while. I can't freaking stand that shit when I have to do that.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah, something about touching I hate when shit touches my neck.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Add that to the reasons why we really are meant to be best friends.
Yeah, dude, it's like now we have that bit of information about each other. If it ever is like, oh, something happened and like the other like hung themselves. No, they didn't. No, they did not.
Like, don't bullshit me. How did they actually die? Like, come on. You're sugarcoating it, aren't you?
Like, you're telling me that's how you found him? Yeah, someone murdered him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a murder. That's a murder right there. Oh man, are you kidding me?
Oh,
Yeah, there's like a bunch of routes that I'm like, I could believe, but now knowing that if you don't like shit as much as I don't like shit around my neck, yeah, like that's like the last thing on your freaking list. Like,
oh.
no, he didn't. Like, I promise you he didn't. Oh man.
shit.
All right, where are you sitting with your acting score?
Acting is pretty damn high. Acting, I think I'm gonna go just because I loved everybody in this movie. Okay, well, no, because like the actress was good for Dolores. Like, like I didn't love the
I mean,
writing
she was
for her.
okay. She just wasn't in it all that much.
Yeah. So I think acting, I think I'm gonna be at a 94.
I am a couple points below at a 92.
All right.
I still think everyone did a fantastic job. Yeah, I think if I'm dogging for anything, it's probably for Dolores and maybe an extra here and there.
That's fair.
All right, moving on over to character development. What are you
This is
thinking?
Lydia Dietz. I for how much we both can probably agree that she was kind of an annoying teenager in the first one.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? It made sense for her character. It makes sense for her age. Even though Caleb and I never went through this phase, and even though his wife Brielle claims that she did.
Yeah, big ass freaking air quotes there, dude. Like she shows me pictures and I'm like, okay, where like she's like, oh yeah, this was my goth phase, and I'm like, your hair is just slightly darker than it is now, and I'm like, you're not even wearing dark clothes, like your jacket's brown. And I'm like, and you got freaking like ankle high like neon socks, like that's not goth.
I've seen this. There's this guy on TikTok that will like recreate how he was an edgy teenager. Or sorry, they were an edgy teenager. I believe that those are their pronouns. But they always showcase like the actual footage of them back then at the end, and it's so great. But like for one, their mom is like giving them a hard time, and they're like they're about to like leave and like take a walk and just like listen to like edgy music, like like Lonely Road. And the mom's just like, oh, take an umbrella, you'll catch your death. And they're just like, well, good, I hope that I catch my death because you're ruining my life. It's so funny,
dude. I don't know if I could ever, like, if my kids mouthed off to me like that, I don't know if I'd be able to take them seriously. Like I would
just
I
can imagine
okay.
Iris is just like, God, Dad, you don't understand me at all.
Yeah, that's like that would be something like if my kid with a straight face told me that you're ruining my life. Like because I want them to like wear an umbrella or wear a raincoat or something, I'd freaking push them out of the house and I'm like, fine, get wet, you ornery bitch.
Damn.
That might be harsh. I got myself riled up and I think I took it a little far. I would like to backtrack that.
I was gonna say, dude, like even if you are super angry, I know you would never call your daughter that.
No, like I said, I got myself worked up in my mind. And I took that a little too far. So I apologize for that.
I promise everybody, Caleb loves his daughter. He genuinely loves his
I would
daughter.
be more like, you ornery shit.
There we go.
Whew, that it felt intense coming out.
How often does Brielle listen to these? Does she listen to them at all?
Sure hope not.
I would just hope that this is the one episode that she listens to. Did she see Beetlejuice with you?
No.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, I can't think of the last movie she like watched with me.
Oh, that's
or like
you guys went on date night for?
No, not necessarily date night, or just like where she's seen the movie.
Okay.
like I'm gonna say new movie because I don't feel like Alien and Aliens counts. She technically saw Deadpool and Wolverine. She didn't really pay attention because she was trying to take care of the kids.
Okay.
Quiet Place Day 1, no. Despicable Me 4, she was playing on her phone the whole time. Family Affair, no. Garfield movie, no. If, no. Inside Out 2, no. Shit, like I'm all the way back at like Mean Girls. I couldn't tell you if she's seen these movies.
Damn, man.
Aquaman Lost Kingdom, no. Wonka, no. She hasn't seen the Marvels.
Is there any movies coming out soon that you can convince her to turn it into a date night?
Dude, I don't know. I thought I could convince her to turn freaking Deadpool and Wolverine into a date night, and we technically did.
Yeah.
But she didn't, like I said, she didn't freaking pay attention the entire time.
What about Joker Filet Ado?
No. She hasn't even watched the first Joker.
Damn.
Like there's some movies on this list, like I said, Alien and Aliens. She does want to watch Twisters eventually.
I thought you guys did watch that together.
Nope.
Oh.
Okay,
I don't know if you guys can catch it in theaters together, but like I feel that she would be up for watching the new Alien movie, right? Alien Romulus? Yeah.
That's a solid maybe. I bet she would. Like she expresses interest in going to see all like these movies, but she doesn't.
But when like the day comes, you're just like, oh hey, or like the week comes,
yeah,
you're just like, hey, I'm gonna go.
Dude, I have invited her to all of these movies.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, want to watch Borderlands with me? No. All right. Hey, I need to watch Twisters. Want to watch? No, I'll catch it when it comes to streaming. All right. Hey, want to watch? I know, dude. In terms, there's only one area in our life that I feel we're pretty incompatible, and it's movies. Dude, because I'll show her a movie, and I'm like, hey, I really think that you would enjoy this movie. And she's like, okay, cool. I will sit down with her to watch it. I get into the movie. I always get into the movie. Like I am freaking invested. If you're trying to have a side conversation with me, don't. Like, unless it's like answering quick questions and shit. Like, oh, who's that? Oh, pay attention to the movie. And like that's the shit I get. And then she'll like, oh, I need to pause it. No. Like I hate pausing movies. If I'm into it, like if I got background noise, like a background noise movie, whatever, pause it all day long. A new movie that I've never seen before, no, I am locked. And I'm like, and you better not freaking bother me. I wish I had the freaking cojones to say that, but I just pause it and just like, and that's it. That's as far as it goes.
Oh, please let Brielle listen to just this one episode.
Oh man, yeah. Like I said, content wise, in terms of like visual content, so movies, TV shows, anything like along those lines, I feel like we're pretty incompatible. But yeah, other than that, we're pretty like everything else we click on. It's just that aspect. I'm just like, whatever. I got Rose for that.
Oh,
dude, she's freaking mentioned that. She's just like, anytime like I've gone to a movie with you and Rose, like I always end up being the third wheel. And I'm like, yeah, because you don't pay attention to the freaking movie. And I'm like, and then on our way home, I want to talk about the movie and you don't. Because I'll be like, hey, what'd you think? Oh, it was good. What'd you think of this? Oh, I thought that was funny. Riveting. Oh, man.
Well, Brielle, I'm sorry that we made you feel like the third wheel.
I'm not freaking. Give me more input. And maybe you wouldn't feel like such a third wheel.
It's funny, speaking of third wheel, because it's always funny when like it's like the one person that like you're both going to a certain thing for, and so like like going to like a movie or like a sporting event, the main person is always sitting in the middle, and then the other accompanying are on either side.
Yep.
um
That's exactly how it goes.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
forget my buddy Ryan, for a couple of movies, I've gone with him and his friend from high school, and like literally without question, we don't even think about this. Ryan's in the middle, I'm on one side, and his friend's on the other. It's hilarious.
Oh, dude. Yeah. She doesn't feel bad. Like, she knows that's exactly what I like that I go for.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you like, I need to talk about this movie. And you don't. Like, I'll be talking about the movie and like, oh, I think this, and this. And then she's like, cool. We need to do laundry when we get home. I don't give a flying shit about laundry right now. I want to talk about this damn movie. Or it's the same thing with freaking video games too. Like, dude, one of my big
no.
she knows this. She knows this and she does it on purpose. She knows my biggest pet peeve is if I'm watching something or playing something or doing anything like with the TV, she will like where I'm actively paying attention to it. She will like do stuff where she's standing directly in front of the goddamn TV.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Oh, dude, my blood will freaking boil. And I'm like, I'll pause it. I'll pause whatever I'm doing. I'll just sit there and just like freaking stare daggers into the like I'm trying to burn a hole through the side of her head. And she knows. She's just like, oh, am I in your way? And I'm like, what do you think? Oh man. She knows it bugs the shit out of me. She knows. Like, if there's ever going to be, I told her, if there's ever a reason we're going to get divorced, it's going to be because you stand in front of the TV while I'm watching shit.
Damn.
Oh, man. Love her to death. Love her to death in every other aspect of my life. When it comes to the content I choose to consume on a TV, this is exactly I've never had a good answer until now. Talking this out. She will get like not upset with me, but like anytime I'm watching something like on my phone, she's like, you can put it up on the TV, or like you can do that, like do this, you can do that, like put it somewhere else, like on a TV. And I'm like, no, I'm watching it on my phone right now. You can't step in front of me in the phone. Oh man.
Oh shit.
Never had a good reason to like, or a good explanation for why I do that. Because I've even caught myself like, why don't I watch this on the TV? Now I know damn well why.
Oh shit.
Anyway, character development. This is one of the more average placements for me.
That's fair. Like, it makes the story, or I guess the character development, the direction that Lydia goes, it makes sense, and yeah, I get where you're coming from. I will say, it was very interesting to see how her relationship with Astrid unfolded, and to see if they would rekindle it by the end, which I feel we all felt that they would. And I'm really glad that they did. I'm also very glad that she did not marry Rory. Thank God. That was his name, right? Rory?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That freaking tool bag.
Yeah, he definitely deserved that punch in the face at the end.
And getting eaten by the sand snake.
Yep. I love that freaking Beetlejuice like just like pulls him right in front of Dolores and like has him wearing an I Love Dolores t-shirt. That was great. But yeah, no, you got a point. It is kind of like on the basic side.
Yeah, I mean, it was well done for what they did. It was just, it was plain.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're gonna have anything in this movie be plain, like, yeah, make it the character development.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So where are you at?
I'd say I'm at a solid 80.
It's actually right where I was sitting too,
Hell yeah. Look at that.
or like couple points higher, but yeah, I was like an
Oh, okay.
82.
All right. And I felt I was gonna be the nice one.
Yeah, I know. All right, next up we got effects. These were freaking killer.
Yeah, these were really good.
Yeah, there was some that worked better than others. Like I didn't necessarily care for it, like when what's his face Wolf held up the picture of Dolores and his eyes kind of like came out of his skull and everything.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was goofy looking.
You know what I don't know, maybe it was just me, but like the first time that actually wait, no, it's the second time we see Beetlejuice when Lydia sees him walking out of like the schoolyard at Astrid's school. For some reason, he looked like CGI to me. It didn't look like Michael Keaton was there.
Yeah, it looks
thought
like
the
maybe
same?
the face, and
Yeah.
that was it.
Okay. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, there was a few moments like that where I was like, okay, this is odd. But then there were some that looked really good, like with the sand snake.
Yeah, that looked really, really cool.
Yeah, I love that they kept the stop motion look.
Yes, I appreciated that a lot. What I love that like in the first one and also in this one, I love seeing when you first get to the afterworld and you're like seeing all the people that are like in the waiting room and like you get to see how they died. Like the one when Charles comes in and they say, "Oh, take a number," and he sits down, and the surfer that got cut in half just gives him just like a dude rat.
Right on.
Oh man, or the freaking guy that died from like I guess shoving way too many hot dogs into his mouth.
Yep. I really like that one.
Yeah.
Dude, the animation that they showed on how Charles died was perfect.
Dude, that was so cool. Like that just like brought me back to like classic claymation. Like that was so freaking awesome.
Yeah. They handled Charles in the best possible way. Like,
Yeah.
knowing that this dude is a freaking pedophile and just done like some horrible shit, and the fact that like it almost was like satisfying in the way that they killed him. They're just like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, there was a plane crash. Oh my gosh, he died in a plane crash. Oh no, he survived the plane crash, and they're like, oh my gosh, he drowned. Oh no, he was like perfectly fine, but some witnesses stated that he got eaten by a shark. All right. And then you just see like the lower half of Charles the rest of the movie. Like they still use his face and is like, is that dude dead?
No, he's still alive.
He's still alive? Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to know how they got away with using his face on that tombstone then.
Yeah, I do too.
But anyway, other than that, like the way that they handled Charles and everything, I felt was really well done. Like given the circumstances, because obviously you couldn't just write him out of the movie because then everyone's going to be because it would make more sense if it was Catherine O'Hara's character, because it's just like, oh, they got divorced and she's gone.
Yeah.
But you can't really write Charles out in any way. Like, you can't just write him out because it's Lydia's father and they had a decent relationship in the first. And then you can't really like just straight up kill him off, because this is a movie where you can travel into the freaking afterlife.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, this is the best possible way that I feel like they could have handled that character.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, and it was funny. Like, I didn't like, usually I think in situations where like they have to include a character that's a little bit less than PC, I think it get a little icky. This felt perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like, even when they showed his likeness on the tombstone, I wasn't like ew or anything. Like, I didn't get that like feeling.
Yeah.
It was more
I
just
didn't
like,
either.
all right, they've addressed it. We know he died in a freaking horrible way, and all right,
We're good.
here we go.
You know what, the I just thought about this. The animation that they have for Charles when the plane is crashing reminded me a lot of did you watch Even Stevens as a kid?
Yes.
The animation in that opening,
Yep.
that reminds me a lot of that.
Yeah, that tracks. But I was super impressed with the animation, the animated bits, and the effects overall.
No,
Like,
Tim Burton did a really good job with these.
yeah, I would love to see more of that, like, mixture of live action and stop motion.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, so I think I'm personally sitting at like an 86, just because of the issues I did have. Actually, 86 feels low. I might go 88.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Bam.
All right, next up we got music.
This was so good.
It was
my
so
God.
good.
I didn't think that they could pick a song that matched the Deo vibes, but they got it with that "Someone Left the Cake Out in the Rain" bit.
Oh
That-
my
like,
gosh.
that was just so amazing.
Dude, they killed it. Oh,
Oh man,
I love that. I love that so much.
dude. Some people were saying it went on for too long. I disagree.
I didn't go on long enough.
Yeah, I agree.
No. Like, I'm definitely kidding with that one.
They could have definitely had to go on for longer. It's a 7-minute song.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That would have been a little too long. Yeah. I think it went on. It stopped right before it started feeling like it was going on too long.
All right. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Like, I think like near the end, I was like getting there, like, and then it ended. I'm like, okay, there we go.
It was like kind of perfect because that's when Willem Dafoe's character busts in with his fellow patrolman.
Yeah.
So there's that freaking tragedy that's playing when Dolores is stapling herself up. That was great. I feel that's like, that song has become like the unofficial, or actually no, I think it actually has become the official song of this movie.
Yeah.
Freaking the choir version of Deo at Charles' funeral.
Haunting.
So, dude, those kids, phenomenal job. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. Oh man. I'm trying to think of like any. I think the only thing this is missing for me is like a single earworm.
I don't know, man. I got my earworm with like all three of those songs. I haven't been able to stop singing those for days. Like,
Personally, I'm at a 9 with the music.
you know, even though I said that, I might be too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it can reach. Yeah, if it. All right, I'm at 9 too.
Yeah, I'm just, yeah, like I said, it's for me, it was just missing that, like, that one super ridiculously catchy tune.
That's fair.
So, man,
Are you telling me like you're not singing to yourself? Somebody left the cake out in the rain. I don't know if I can take it because it took so long to bake it.
yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not singing that. All right, next up we got costumes. Bro.
Oh my dude, freaking the end, like, going back to that song, the freaking when he he's just like, oh, I got one more thing planned. I forget what he calls Lydia, but he's just like, and this one's from the heart. Throws her his actual heart, and he's freaking in the classic suit from the first one, and then freaking Lydia is in her classic red dress. I'm just like,
Ah,
this is phenomenal. This is amazing.
peak cinema.
Yep, exactly.
Dude, the costume department was working overtime.
No, like seriously.
So
Like,
good. I feel like it'd be a crime to give this anything lower than a 10.
oh, agreed, dude. If nothing puts you over a 10, I feel that Delia's outfits also would definitely put you at a 10.
Oh yeah, freaking Delia's Dolores, freaking her look was amazing.
Oh yeah, she looked fantastic.
And then every single person that you saw inside or in the afterlife was
so cool.
freaking sick, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, legitimately tell, like, they stepped up from the first.
Yeah,
And
100%.
like the first, I would even dare say the first would be at like a out of 10.
I agree. Like, freaking comparing the design of like the Bob character to how he looked in the end of the first one to how he looked now, like, honestly, I think he got freaking an improvement. I liked how they looked way better in this movie.
Yeah. And freaking, I've always said that the one thing that holds movies back from a 10 is a lack of silhouette. You cannot say that Beetlejuice doesn't have a freaking flawless silhouette.
Oh yeah, like that classic like hand pose with the hair, like it's so you'd be able to recognize it like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, hell, even the freaking color scheme. Like, you just
Yeah.
need freaking like those 3 colors, the
Yep.
black, white, and green.
Done.
Beetlejuice.
Yep.
Like, there is no argument for me that would put this less than a 10.
Same here.
All right, last up we got our own personal score.
All right, I'm curious to hear yours first.
Okay. I don't know if I would have enjoyed this as much if I didn't watch the first. I do feel it kind of relies on your nostalgia of that one, or I don't even want to say nostalgia because, like I said, I have only seen Beetlejuice one time, and that was yesterday. Like, it was so freaking close, like, or from when I saw the sequel to the last. Like, it was so much fun. It kept the tone really well. Like, it picked it up flawlessly. Like, if anything, the thing that I feel makes this movie possibly better than the original is that Catherine O'Hara goes even more off the wall, unhinged, and I love it for
So
just for
good.
that alone. But I had so much fun with this movie. This is definitely going to be on my yearly watch list. Anytime freaking Beetlejuice pops up on a streaming service, like, I will be watching Beetlejuice during the holiday season. This is a Halloween movie for me. Like, both of these movies are. And yeah, it's freaking added to my yearly watch list. Had a great time with it. Super funny. And yeah, I am personally probably going to put this at like probably a 92.
Holy shit.
Dude,
I
it
was
was
not expecting that.
I started I started typing out an 89 and that didn't feel right, and I kind of like worked my way up, and I was like, okay, like 92 feels solid.
Wow. Okay. I'm like flabbergasted by that. That's awesome though. Um, yeah, I agree with everything that Caleb said. This movie was so freaking good. I think it's better than the first one. I still enjoy the first one after giving it such a harsh time and rewatching it. I take back a lot of what I said. The first one's a really good movie, and just this one's a little better. I really, really enjoyed Beetlejuice. The returning cast is absolutely fantastic. Jenna Ortega, Willem Dafoe, the newbies are all fantastic. They fit right into the world of Tim Burton. Just like I had such a good time with this movie. And I'm with Caleb. It's definitely on my yearly watch. It's added to my Halloween movies, and I can't wait to watch it again. I am lower than Caleb, and I'm going to give this the same score, personal score, that I gave a Legacy sequel that also came out this year, because I feel that I enjoyed them both just as much. So just like I gave Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, I'm going to give Beetlejuice an 89 for my personal score.
Hell yeah. All right, making our way through, so that wraps up this breakdown. So going through these scores real quick, starting off with story, we're sitting at a very sturdy 90. Writing takes a little bit of a dip at an 89.5. Acting brings it back up, sitting at a 93. Our lowest category is character development, sitting at an 83. The effects are brought back up a little bit, sitting at an 88. Music is sitting at a 9 out of 10. The costumes are sitting at a 10 out of 10. And then our personal score ended up averaging out to a 90.5. So with that, the final All Bros letter grade for Beetlejuice has come out to an A minus.
Holy shit. Okay.
Oh,
wow.
dude. I was not expecting that.
I was not either. I was expecting a solid B plus.
I was too.
Wow.
Dude, no way.
Damn.
That's
how
nuts.
I'm very curious how close it is though. Or is it pretty sturdy?
Let's see. So our cutoff for an A minus is 90%.
Okay.
This is sitting at a 90.5.
Okay, wow.
On the freaking dot, 90.5.
Damn.
That is nuts.
That is insane.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Okay. So 90.5, that puts it below Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
Okay.
It is below Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
It's below Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Okay.
It is below Inside Out 2.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
And it is below Turning Red.
Okay. Oh, a lot of sequels. Wow.
Yeah. It is also sitting above 1917.
Okay, wow.
It's above Us.
Okay, yeah. I agree with that.
It is also above Soul.
Okay.
It's above Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Okay.
And then it
I
is
was thinking of
above-
the other Pinocchio for a minute. I'm just like, wait a damn minute. We ranked it that high?
Oh, no, not the remake.
Okay. Okay. It's Guillermo's,
That-
thank goodness.
Guillermo's, yeah. And then finally, it is above The Matrix.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I'd be very interested to see what DJ thinks of that.
Yeah. That is a very surprising placement, but I'm not hating it.
I'm not either. Even though like my personal score is a B plus, I'm not mad that I got an A minus as its overall score. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's freaking hell is sick. Man. I love when that freaking happens, dude.
That is insane.
Yeah. The freaking costumes, the costumes and music are, I think, what saved the lower categories.
All right, that makes sense.
Because anything like the only stuff that was in the 80s was writing, character development, and effects. So, I mean, writing was barely on that line. It was freaking 0.5 away from being in the A minus range. So 83 and that 88 for character development and effects, though that 9 and 10 freaking brought up.
All right. Wow.
So that is nuts. That is freaking wild. But yeah.
All right. Well, unless you got anything else to say, I'm just in awe.
Nope.
All right. All right. Well, if you guys want to check out more from us, be sure to follow and subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We are on Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Google. I already said Google Podcast. Wow. Is it Apple Podcast or is it iTunes something?
No, it's Apple Podcasts.
It's
now.
Apple Podcast. Okay. Basically wherever you listen to podcasts, you'll find us. If you want to check out any of our social media, you can do so. We are at the All Bros at Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever, Instagram, TikTok, all those. Just search at the All Bros and you will find us. If you want to email us, you can do so at theallbroschannel@gmail.com. If you want to check out our website, you can find it at tinyurl.com/user/the All Bros channel. Yeah, right. Yeah, for a second, I thought I was saying the freaking merchandise's link. Oops. But speaking of that, if you want to check out our store, you can find it at tpublic.com/user/the All Bros channel. Next week on the podcast, we will be breaking down Furiosa. I can't remember if it's a Mad Max saga or a Mad Max story. It's one of those.
Saga.
It's Saga? Okay.
Yeah, Mad Max Saga.
Okay. And also in that episode, we have a little fun extra little bit that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be doing a little bit of regrading with 2 certain movies. So that's going to be fun. And yeah, so next week's going to be a really fun episode. I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, until then, this has been the All Bros Podcast. I am Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And we'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.
Deuces.